Hey guys, how are you? Today I'm going to be doing a video that I love to watch from other YouTubers, and that is a palette collection overview video. I'm not going to be going over every single shadow that I own, but I am going to be going over palettes that I have, ones that I love and ones that I think you should kind of skip. So I'm just going to be going over most of my high-end palettes, and I'm not going to be going over trios or anything. These are larger palettes. Ooh, as I drop them. These are larger palettes that have probably at least 10 shadows in them. So most of these are ones that are still available. There may be one or two limited edition ones in there, but overall you can still get all of these palettes. Okay, so we may as well start with the basics. The Naked Basics. So this is obviously by Urban Decay, if you don't know already. And this is a collection of 6 matte basic eyeshadows. This is great for traveling. You have 2 matte cream colors, a shimmery highlight, a medium tan, a darker brown, and then a dark blackened brown. So this is great for travel. I use it a lot if I want to do a matte like pinup eye with winged liner and a red lip. That's what I usually reach for this for. Or if I'm using a different palette and I need some matte colors to mix in. Overall, I really like the color Naked 2. I use that in my crease a lot as a blending color, and I really like Faint. And you can also, that's also a good color to use on your brows. And then Crave is a nice color to use as liner or to set your eyeliner, and WOS and Foxy are just good basic matte colors. Now this, I'd say the only reason it is unique is because it's so compact and they're all there in one little palette. Overall, the shades are not that unique. You can get these colors in other palettes in single forms, but it's just so convenient that I love that it's easy to throw in my makeup bag and have these basic colors all together. So that's why I love the Naked Basics. It's not crazily unique and the colors don't scream out at me that you absolutely need this palette, but it's cute, it's compact, they're all together, and boom, it's easy. Okay, next moving on to the mother of the Naked Basics, and that is your original Naked palette. This thing has seen its better days. It is beat up, and that's because I love it. It's probably one of my all-time favorite palettes. It's just a good go-to warm shimmery eyeshadow palette that has a couple matte colors for your crease, which make it very wearable. Now this I have had, oh my gosh, for like 4 years probably. This was my very first eyeshadow palette. I love it. I've used it to death, and it just has so many memories in it. I love Sin, Naked, Buck, Smog, Dark Horse. The Naked palette, everyone needs it. Okay, next moving on to the Naked 2. The Naked 2 came out a couple years ago, came out after the Naked palette, and it's way cooler in tone. And while I do love cooler colors, I have realized overall I probably like warmer colors on my eyes. And this palette tends to look a little gray, muddy on me. It has some gorgeous colors. I think it has more fallout than the Naked 1, and I just don't think it's as wearable. The colors aren't as cohesive, and they don't really blend as nicely as the Naked 1 does, but a lot of people love this palette. It's still amazing quality, and they're beautiful. I just don't reach for it as much, and I don't think it's as flattering on my skin tone, but that's just me. But yeah, as I hold it up, it looks gorgeous. I am just more partial to the bronzier warm colors that are in the Naked 1. Okay, so next is the Naked 3 palette, and I love the Naked 3. The Naked 1 is probably my most used, but the Naked 3 is so beautiful. It's so unique. There are all these beautiful rosy tones and rose golds, so it's kind of in between warm and cool, which I love. So I feel like it's very wearable, and you can get this really pretty pinky, purpley, smoky eye with it, and I do reach for this a lot. There's some very natural colors and then some smokier colors, and this is a color scheme that I have found in no other palette that I own. So the Naked 3 and the Naked 1 I think are absolute musts in any makeup collection. I think it's just so flattering, and on green eyes, oh my gosh, this would look amazing. Okay, so next moving on to one of my newer favorite neutral palettes, and this is the Stila in the light palette. Now I have not owned any other Stila eyeshadows in the past, so I was so impressed by the quality. They are very similar to Urban Decay shadows, super pigmented, and my favorite color in the whole palette is Kitten, and it's just this super pigmented champagne color that is so famous and beautiful. And I love Bliss, which is just like Urban Decay Naked. I love that there's a matte brown and there's a matte black for eyeliner, so the In the Light palette is another really good basic palette to have, and it's just great quality. Okay, next I'm going to move on to the Lorac Pro Palette. And this palette, first of all, I love the packaging. It's one of my favorite packagings because it is so slim and sleek. It's easy to pack. It's not heavy or bulky like the Naked 2 and Naked 3 are that really clunky heavy packaging, which I'm not the hugest fan of. Again, I really like the original Naked palette, and this is an even more condensed version, and I like that it's magnetic. I really like it. It flips all the way back, and it's just perfect to hold in your hand when you're doing your makeup. And again, this has all matte colors on the top. As you can see, I've really used cream and taupe, which are probably my most used colors in this palette. Again, I love a good basic cream and a tan color that you can use in your crease. So those are my most used. Again, I also use the dark brown a lot for liner. And then Nude, which is like Stila's Kitten, or Urban Decay Sin, that super shimmery champagne. So I see a trend in all my palettes. It's usually the cream highlight, the matte blending color, and then the champagne are always the colors I hit pan on first. And Pewter is a lot like MAC Satin Taupe. It's just a perfect purpley, taupey brown. So pretty for a soft smoky eye. So Garnet is another really pretty copper color that I love all over the eye. Deep Purple for a purple smoky eye. Again, it's just a good mix of your basics and your shimmers and a few jewel tones that you can do a lot with this palette. They're super pigmented. The only thing I don't like about Lorac is they have a lot of fallout because they are so pigmented and a little bit powdery. But overall, I love this palette, and it's a very good palette if you're just starting off with eyeshadow palettes and you want to have a little bit of everything. So yeah, Lorac Pro Palette I would definitely recommend. It also came with a little eye primer, which is very good. Okay, I forgot one Urban Decay palette that I love, and I should use more, which is the Smoked Palette. And I did a few tutorials with this, I think last year. Yeah, I will link them below, as well as any tutorials that I do with any of the palettes mentioned. I will link in the description box so you can check out how I actually use them. So this is the Smoked Palette from Urban Decay. This was limited edition, sorry, but it is gorgeous. Oh, I love it. It's a nice mixture of matte basic colors to use with a smoky eye, as well as some really pretty colorful smoky colors. So jewel tones like the blue, the emerald, the asphalt, mushroom, which is again that gorgeous taupey color that I love for a soft smoky eye. And oh, Loaded is probably my favorite. This really pretty teal emerald green. Love it. So yeah, the Smoked Palette, it's amazing. These are some of the highest quality eyeshadows from Urban Decay that I have come across, even compared to the Naked palette. Like this color, Barlust, is this really pretty warm bronze color. This palette also, it zips up so it stays nice and shut. And this is one of my all-time favorite palettes. I wished I used it more, but I almost kind of save it because I love it so much. So I know that's kind of funny, but this palette is one of my all-time favorites from Urban Decay that I own. Okay, so moving on, this is another limited edition palette I got for Christmas last year. This is the Too Faced A Few of My Favorite Things, and it is a gorgeous palette. I just don't use it that often because it is so big. I leave it on my vanity kind of on the bottom of my palettes to hold all the other ones stacked up, but I love the packaging. It's so cute. A few of my favorite things. What I do love about this is the variety of color, and I want to do some tutorials with it, but I don't know if you guys would really like that because it is limited edition, so you can't really get it anymore. But Too Faced in all their holiday palettes have similar colors, so even if I used this, you could still recreate the look with whatever you have. So here, it opens up like this. Eyeshadows on the top, the instruction book, and then you get 2 blushes and 2 bronzers. So this comes with the Chocolate Soleil Matte Bronzer, which is one of my favorite bronzers for contouring. It also comes with the Sun Buddy Bronzer, which is a gorgeous shimmery bronzer that makes you look like a golden goddess, and I love it. Melt Into Spring Blush is a really pretty peach, and then Raindrops on Roses is a gorgeous, again, rosy pink color that just gives you such a pretty natural flush. And then the colors on the top, again, you get a great mix of matte neutrals, shimmery bronzes, and then you get some really fun colors like Party Time, which is this really pretty teal with like a reflection to it. And then I'm trying to find Swatch Your Fingers. And then Ooh La Orchid is this really cool matte purple. And ooh, Blue Satin Sheets is another really pretty blue with like, it's matte with glitter in it, which I love that kind of finish. So overall, they give you some really cool colors in this palette. And yeah, I wish I used it more because I love this palette. I just never reach for it because it's always like on the bottom of everything. So I'm gonna leave this out and use it. And lastly, I forgot MAC. I'm going to go over my MAC palettes. Now, I have been collecting MAC for a while. I want to fill up my palette a little bit more with some more neutral colors, but the thing I love about the MAC packaging is when they changed their palettes that you fill up, they changed it to this really cool clear color. Clear is not a color. This really cool clear packaging so you can see what you have. It's magnetic, it's super great quality. The old MAC palette looks like this. So I have the old one. And in here, I'm not gonna go over every single color because this is not what this video is about, but I have a mix of neutrals, shimmers, and mattes, and they're just very basic, popular MAC shadows like All That Glitter, Satin Taupe, Wedge, Nylon, Woodwinked. I do use my MAC shadows quite a bit. Not as much as my Urban Decay palettes, but I do love MAC shadows. And some of them are super pigmented like Urban Decay, and then a few of them are kind of not as pigmented, but overall I do like MAC shadows. I think they are $12 for an eyeshadow pot or an eyeshadow pan that's not in the pot packaging. So yeah, they're very good, but they're not my absolute favorite, but I do love them because I've had them for so long and they're just like classics to me. Now this one is my random color palette when I was into wearing purple and yellow on my eyes when I was like 13. But again, I do use this for more brighter tutorials and Halloween looks. I love chrome yellow. It's just a perfect matte bright yellow. Like where else are you gonna find a matte bright yellow? So I love this. This also has cranberry, which I do wear in the fall, like a cranberry and copper smoky eye. It's really good for that. And Rule is this bright matte orange, but it's actually really pretty over brown shadows if you just blend it into your crease. So again, I forget to pull out this palette for these colors, but I do use it a lot. So I think that is it for all of my eyeshadow palettes. Maybe I will get more. I'm kind of laying off on the shadow palette buying because I have so many shadows to use, but eyeshadow palettes are probably one of my favorite things actually because I think they're just so pretty and love the packaging and all the different colors that you can play with. So that is it. I hope this was a good quick overview of some of my favorite palettes, and hopefully I gave you an idea of a palette that you may want to buy and what you're looking for in a palette. So overall, you can't go wrong with the Naked palette, the Stila in the Light, or the Lorac Pro palette. They're all really good basic neutrals. So let me know what your favorite palette is down below, or what your favorite eyeshadow color is. I'd love to hear from you guys. Let me know what video you guys want to see next. Don't forget to check out my blog for blog posts and updates, and follow me on Instagram. I post on Instagram daily. I'm an Instagram addict, and I'm sure you guys are too. So I will leave all my links down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!